You ever notice how some events sell out in days and others can't even sell 50% of their ticket until the last week? It's not luck. It's not the vibe. It's the marketing. Whether it's a New Year's Eve party, a tech conference, a luxury gala, a virtual event, or a product launch, the formula for selling tickets is the exact same. And I'm about to show you exactly why most organizers fail and how to fix it with real marketing strategies, not guesswork. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to plan, promote, and scale your event using systems that sell tickets while you sleep. And I'll show you the exact ad funnel we used with our clients that have turned cold audience into paid attendees. So look, here's the truth that most event organizers don't want to admit. You can't market an event only when you started promoted 2 weeks before it happens. It's just not gonna happen. You can't rely on organic posts and hope that the algorithm does you a favor, because it's not. And you definitely can't expect people to drop $100 on a ticket when they've only seen your ad once. So selling out an event isn't about hype, it's about momentum. And momentum happens when every piece of your marketing is aligned. So your email, your ads, the content, the partnerships that you do, all of this working together to help you sell tickets. And whether it's an in-person event or a virtual summit, momentum looks the same. It's multiple touch points, building awareness, trust, and urgency. And I've worked with event organizers that literally panic in the final few weeks before the event. And now they're selling 40 to 50% of the tickets in advance because they follow this system. And that's what we're going to break down today, what most people are doing wrong and how to fix it. So if you're running an event, whether it's corporate, virtual, or nightlife, there are 7 things that are killing your ticket sale. Let's go through them one by one. First off, most of you guys are not doing email marketing correctly. And email is still the most profitable marketing channel for events, but most organizers don't even use it. And they use it wrong if they do it at all. They send one big generic email blast to their entire list. Tickets on sale now. And that's not a strategy. That's spam. You need to segment and do proper segmentation. For example, your past attendees, you could send VIP invites or an email with the subject line, "We're back." You can also send emails to your warm leads, so people who've signed up for updates or engage with your ads. And you can also send emails to cold prospects. So these are people who've never heard of you before. Now, a lot of event organizers, they do buy lists. So if you do buy a list, that's essentially a cold list. So you can send emails to those cold lists. So essentially, each segment gets its own message, tone, and call to action. And make sure you're using automation. So automation is basically a system that sends emails before, during, and after the event. So you can send post reminder emails, last minute urgency emails. You can do post-event thank yous and recaps. And for virtual events, you should also have time zone specific reminders and follow-up links for replays or recording. And that's how you maximize conversions and increase lifetime value. Now, if you're new to this channel and have been finding value so far, don't forget to smash that subscribe button. And number 2 is paid ad strategy. And this is really where I excel in. So make sure you're paying attention. Now, this is the biggest mistake I see. People think running ads means boosting a flyer post or an Instagram post. And that's simply not the case. That's not a strategy. That's wishful thinking. Here's the proper funnel that sells tickets consistently. So I do want to break down that when you're running paid ads, you need to think about your ad campaigns as a funnel. So there's top of funnel awareness specific ads, there's middle of funnel ads, and then there's the bottom of funnel ads, which focus on selling tickets. Now, you don't want to jump right into selling tickets from the start. You need to move people down the funnel. So for top of funnel, this is the awareness stage. I would consider this about 4+ weeks out. So anything 30 days away or more. So the goal with the awareness campaigns is to reach new people with exciting visuals. So you want to run video views or engagement campaigns with content like a hype reel or a quick interview with the speaker or DJ. You also have event teasers or behind the scene type content that you can use. And really the top of funnel is where you should be testing most of your ads. So A lot of you guys just aren't testing enough. You create a few ads, a few piece of copy or content, and just test that. You really should be testing at least 10 to 30 pieces of creative per event. So now you have the middle of the funnel, which is the consideration stage. I would say this is about 3 to 6 weeks out. So the goal of this phase is to warm people up. So you want to show them why your event is unique. So you're going to highlight the experience, not the ticket price. For virtual events, you can show clips from last year's session and testimonials from past attendees. And in this stage, what I like to do is retargeting, and I'll get into that later on in this video. But the last stage is the bottom of the funnel, which is the conversion. And you really want to be running these types of content within 1 to 2 weeks of the event. So now the goal here is to sell tickets. You want to use a conversion campaign to target people who've already visited your ticket sites or engaged with your ad. So this is when you can really take advantage of urgency. So early bird ticket ends tonight, or final ticket remaining, replay access closes soon. So really use urgency in this stage. So when your paid ads is layered like this, you're not hoping for people to buy, you're guiding them through the buying process. And that's really what it's all about. You have to hold someone's hand, take them from awareness to consideration to purchase. So number 3 is retargeting and using custom audiences. This one drives me a little bit crazy because it's the easiest win. For example, if someone watched your promo video and clicked interested or visited your ticket page and you're not retargeting them, then you're wasting a lot of money. So make sure you're setting up custom audiences for your ticket page visits or anyone who engaged with your Instagram account, an audience for your past buyers, anyone who watched some of your videos, so 50% video views or more, anyone who visited your website within the last 30 to 90 days, then you're gonna retarget them with messages that match their intent. For example, you checked out the lineup. Here's your last chance to join the VIP list. Now for virtual events, you can even build audience from people who've registered but didn't attend, and then sell them your post-event recording or the next event access pass. So retargeting is where your profit margin lives. And it's one of the most powerful ways to get people to purchase your ticket. Because when you retarget, it's not like they're only seeing your ad once. They're going to see your ads over and over and over again. And it takes at least 8 to 15 touch points to get someone to take an action. So be smart, guys, and start using retargeting. And number 4 is ignoring influencer marketing. Influencers are the modern versions of promoters, and you don't need a big name. You need the right one. So micro influencers, anyone from 5,000 to 50,000 followers in your niche or cities, can move tickets faster than you think, especially if they're a trusted voice. And it's really a secret weapon that I use a lot when I'm doing event marketing for agencies or companies. So here's how to do it right. First, you want to bring them in early, not a week before the event. You will also want to give them an affiliate link or code so they can earn a commission. Now, you also want to get them involved creatively. So have them do interviews, get them backstage access, have them do giveaways. And for virtual events, try to collaborate with a lot of thought leaders in your niche or in your industry, and have them host short segments, modern panels, or co-promote the events to their email list. So influencer collaborations give your event credibility before people even click it. Now there's many ways to find influencers, and I have other videos on this channel on how to find them and what message to actually send them. So go and check out one of those videos here. Now, number 5 is not leveraging local or niche communities. This one's free and most people still skip it. Every city and niche has a community on Facebook, Telegram, LinkedIn, or Reddit. If you're hosted a business summit, join industry groups and provide value first. If it's nightlife, make sure you're sharing posts in the local party and event groups. And for virtual events, there's Discord groups, there's Slack communities, there's LinkedIn circles, and these are full with your attendees. You can also message other communities on all of these platforms. So the key here is don't just drop a link, start a conversation, like literally ask questions, So you can ask questions like, which speaker are you most excited to see this year? Or who's joining us virtually from abroad? Or what topic do you want us to cover? The goal is to organically build buzz. Okay, number 6 is not testing enough creatives. The difference between a sold out event and an event that actually flops comes down to the creative testing. You can't rely on one flyer and one video. You need multiple hooks, visuals, and ad variations. So make sure you're testing. Test different openings, different call to action. You can also use different tones. ChatGPT in this area is going to be your friend. Have ChatGPT give you a bunch of different variations and different ideas that you can test. Now for virtual events, you can test speakers, you can test the event highlights from last year. You can do workshop snippets, or you can test testimonial reels. So the first 3 to 5 creators will usually fail. That's just the nature of the game. But what happens is you'll then see which one does work. And once you find the ones that work, the winners, you can then scale it and scale it fast. And that's the value of testing different creatives. For example, when I'm doing creative testing for conferences, I am testing about 10 to 30 different creatives before moving them into my scaling campaign. Now, number 7 is not investing in the right headliner or the right speaker. Look, I know budget is tight sometimes, but if your event has no recognizable name or nothing to draw people, then it's going to be 10 times harder to promote your event. So a great speaker, a great DJ, or a great performer, they are your marketing assets. Their name increases your ads click-through rate. Their image improves your conversion, and their own audience expands your reach. So the bigger and better the headliner, the easier it is going to be for you to sell tickets for your event. So even for virtual events, investing in one keynote speaker, one really credible keynote speaker, people will most likely buy it because they want access to that speaker as well as the experience that that speaker is going to bring. So for example, if a headliner costs $5,000, that could help you sell $50,000 in tickets. So essentially, that's not an expense, it's a ROI. So having the right speaker and a popular headliner is essential for selling tickets in advance. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting till last minute to get a lot of tickets in. Because when you have a big speaker, there's going to be a lot of FOMO. And without the FOMO and the emotional tie to your event, it's going to be hard to move tickets. All right, now let's flip it. Here's how to actually market your event properly, step by step. This is the same system that we use for our clients across festivals, conferences, virtual events, you name it. So pay attention here. Phase 1 is the pre-launch, and this is 4+ weeks out. So what you want is you want to build your custom audiences early. So past attendees, email lists, Instagram followers, all of them. You want to launch teaser content, so quick clips, mysterious guest hints, or venue reveals. You also want to collect email leads. So use join the waitlist or early access to your landing page. For virtual events, offer a free mini session or PDF download to build your list ahead of ticket launch. You also want to set up your email automation. So have a welcome email series, a what to expect email series. Now this builds buzz before your campaign even starts and gives you warm leads to retarget later. Now phase 2 is your ticket launch phase. So you want to do this between 3 to 5 weeks out. So drop your cinematic promo video or highlight reel. You also want to run awareness ads about 3 to 5 days to build momentum before pushing ticket sales. Then when you have this momentum, you want to switch to conversion campaign once your pixel data is strong enough. Then you're going to segment your emails again. Now you're going to have a VIP list, a warm email list, as well as a cold email list. And at this stage, you want to activate your influencers and partners. Give them story packs or short clips to share. For virtual events, you want to emphasize accessibility and replay value. Can't attend live? All sessions will be recorded. Your goal in this phase is to sell 20 to 40% of your tickets before the final push. Now, phase 3 is the final push, and this is going to be 10 to 14 days before your event. So here you're going to be running retargeting ads focused on scarcity. So you're going to use countdown timers and last call creatives. You're going to be pushing testimonials or past event highlights. You're going to have your speakers, your DJs, or influencers go live together. And now 3 days before the event, make sure you are sending out daily reminder emails. Now for virtual events, you can double down on urgencies. For example, you can have a final chance to access live session or replay. Closer the event get, the stronger your content cadence should become. For example, a past client were sending out one email a week, a few weeks out before the event. I literally told them that they needed to up their cadence to sending at least 2 to 3 emails a week. And then on the last week, you should be sending daily emails, sometimes multiple emails a day. Now here's a bonus for you, and this is the post-event retention. Most organizers stop marketing once the event is over, but your post-event period is where you build long-term fans. So you're gonna be sending recap videos, highlight reels, and behind-the-scene clips. Retarget all your audience with see you next year campaigns. Ask for feedbacks and offer them first access to the next event. This will help you sell tickets way before your next event. Now for virtual events, you can repurpose your recording into clips for social media or evergreen replays, and you can sell these later. So the event ends, but the marketing flywheel keeps spinning. So I hope you found value from these tips. And if you're an event organizer, whether it's corporate conference or music festival or even a virtual event, and you want help finally selling out your tickets in advance, and you need more than promotion, for example, you need a marketing system, that's what I build for my clients. I design funnels, run paid ads, test a bunch of creatives, and make sure every dollar is spent trying to get real sales. So there's going to be a link under this video. Just hit that link and then fill out that form, and then let's talk. Now, if you like this video, then you're most likely gonna like my next video. So go watch that video right here, and I'll see you over in that video.